Good evening, everybody. How are we doing today? I hope you're having a fantastic evening. If you're just jumping on my live stream, thank you so much for making out the time to come on my live stream. I'm a partner with an amazing company called the Gistos Company. I inspire healthy living. I promote healthy living. Our product is all about good. So I'm going to be sharing my screen so you can see what this product can do for you. I'll just go straight to I'm gonna go straight to my website and I'm gonna be talking from my website. So I'm gonna be talking from gladys.gsplus.com. So, oh, forgot that there's a system maintenance today. Today or 4 day that I work. Okay, yeah. We go to the Freedom Revolution. We hope something is not there's no system maintenance there. Yeah, I forgot that a while ago. Yeah, or just so let me I'm gonna stop sharing now so I don't start sharing all my documents on Facebook. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen and I'll get my file ready and then we can do this. Okay, before we do that, before I get my file, I want us to take a look at this to just listen to these amazing doctors improve adrenal health.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Healthy Living Revolution Live. My name is Beth Leopold. The Healthy Living Revolution is a movement of people who are taking healthy back. And we're offering this series to bring some simple solutions and simple education. Our speaker for this episode is Dr. Bonnie Schnautz.
Thank you, Beth, for that kind introduction. Again, I'm Bonnie Schnautz, and it's an honor to share this information with the entire Healthy Living Revolution community. So today, not only am I speaking about adrenal fatigue as a healthcare professional, but also from my personal experience. So really want to talk about really where it all starts. And it all starts with stress. I really believe that that is the root of a lot of our chronic disease today. So stress is either a physical, mental, emotional factor that creates tension in the body or in mental aspect as well. So, and I break it down into 3 areas. It can be physical, which would be surgery, accident, fall. Emotional, which that's basically a lot of our surroundings. It could be our jobs, it could be spouses, children, all of the above, right? And then nutritional, which consists of excesses and deficiencies. And excesses can correlate to the things that we're eating that really don't serve our body. Deficiencies would be things that we should be eating that we're not. So we know that stress depletes vital nutrients faster than can be replaced by dietary intake, and that honestly it's almost 2 to 3 times the amount is needed just to maintain homeostasis or a body that's balanced. So the diagram on the left really shows that how stress affects so many areas of the body, and I just really want to point out just a few here. So digestion, of course, is really slowed when the body is stressed, so the nutrients aren't being absorbed, cells aren't not being fed, repaired, etc. The brain is impacted as neurotransmitters such as serotonin is affected, along with the other neurotransmitters. The immune system slows, and again, these are just a few of the areas of the body that are impacted by stress, and we know it's not a good thing. But I think it's really important to understand really what it does to our entire body. Just to share a little bit about my journey. So really several years ago it started, and initially I had a client come to me that was diagnosed, and I honestly had not heard of it. I looked when I, assessed her, I thought she was doing so many things right. She was eating well, she was eating clean, she was getting rest, but still she was just mentally and physically exhausted. And I just kind of wrote it off to, I can't help everyone. And about a year later, I started to experience some very similar symptoms: extreme fatigue, emotional sensitivity. And I remember the thought of performing even simple household chores like making the bed or emptying the dishwasher were just absolutely, it was like equivalent to running a 5K. It was just overwhelming and so difficult. And, many days I couldn't even perform these very simple things. So I had, around the same time, I decided to add some testing services into my menu of services. And so I put myself through the test, and that was a salivary hormone and neurotransmitter testing. And I received the results that I was in phase 3 adrenal fatigue. So I was absolutely devastated. And I thought, wow, I was building a wellness center at the time, not physically building it, but we were renovating it, I should say. I was opening a wellness center. And I realized, how can I help anybody when I'm, in this state? And adrenal fatigue is typically put into categories. So with what I utilize, it's put in either phase 1, phase 2, or phase 3. Phase 1 being, we call the alarm phase, the very early stages. 2 being resistance, we call it the endless battle. And then phase 3 being complete exhaustion. And what scared me when I started to research it is that sometimes phase 3 can go into either Addison's disease or adrenal cancer. And that got my attention. And Addison's is where the adrenals have actually been damaged. So how did I end up here? Number 1, I was opening up a business. Number 2, my son was very sick, which created some serious financial issues for him as well. So in my quest to take care of him and my quest to take care of my clients, I failed to take care of myself. So probably many of you have been there. So with that, the labels, adrenal fatigue versus adrenal insufficiency, you may hear both of these. Typically, the holistic field uses adrenal fatigue, the medical uses insufficiency. And the difference is, of course, we would use natural means. The medical community would typically use steroids and maybe some other, medications for that condition. So, and again, how do you determine, what I utilize? Our saliva test. You test, your saliva 4 times throughout the day. It's very simple. And then neurotransmitter, which is a simple urine collection as well. And something else I noticed that was quite interesting, that people who are prone to adrenal fatigue, what we see a pattern here, which is type A personalities, overachievers, women, caregivers, those kind of go hand in hand, right? And there could be male caregivers too, but typically we see more women, and I'm seeing more and more teens, unfortunately. There's a lot of really high expectations that are put on our children today: academics, athletics, social media, peer pressure, all those things. So I think we as parents have to be very careful about, what kind of an example we're setting and what kind of message that we're sending our children if they're ending up in adrenal fatigue. So people that are extremely independent don't ask for help, right? Some of you can probably relate to those. So it's not always, but we do see a pattern here. So let's talk about the adrenals. So adrenal fatigue, again, is that physical energy breakdown. The adrenal glands, what do they look like? Well, they basically are glands. They're about the size of a walnut. They sit on top of the kidneys. 3 components, which is the adrenal glands, are the cortex, the medulla, and the capsule. And again, our stress levels will start to override our ability to adapt. And that's when the body becomes weaker. And that's why we call them the stress glands or the fight or flight glands. And within the adrenal, the hormones that are produced are neurotransmitters. The epinephrine and norepinephrine are produced in the medulla. Aldosterone, cortisol, and cortisone are produced in the cortex. And speaking of cortisol, so which one there? So cortisol's impact on the body. So what happens? The immune system slows down under extreme stress. The adrenals, of course, naturally release cortisol, which is a normal part of the process. And what happens is that continual production over and over when you're in chronic stress, constant stress that creates that fatigue. Then we start to see the blood pressure, the pulse rate, blood sugar levels increase. The blood is directed away from the digestive organs. We may see pupils dilate, reflexes increase, things like that. So it, cortisol obviously plays a big factor, and that's why through adrenal testing, through saliva testing, that's what we're looking at. We're looking at cortisol levels throughout different times of the day, morning, afternoon, evening, etc. Okay, what are some other contributors to adrenal fatigue? Could be genetics. Most of us know what that is, right? It's passed along from our parents. Also congenital weakness, which is present at birth, which could be the same thing, where it could be nutritional, could be toxicity issues that are passed through our parents. Nutritional imbalances, again, we talked about excesses and deficiencies. Food sensitivities, we see this a lot. People eat the same foods over and over and over. Stimulants, too much sugar, alcohol, caffeine, chocolate. Chocolate was my drug of choice. Medical drugs, too much of those, or just having the negative side effects from those. Infections, structural imbalances, toxicities, pesticides, herbicides from our foods, chlorine from swimming pools, mercury from either fish or mercury fillings in the teeth, and molds and electromagnetic frequencies, I should say, or radiation, and that comes from computers, from our cell phones, right? And that we're all tethered to, and then we have the tracking devices that we're wearing. All these things are contributors, so we have to reduce our exposure to all those. So monitor your screen time, turn your cell phones off, and sometimes we just need to be without all those. Your mental attitude, of course, thinking and remembering you are a human being, not a human doing, setting boundaries, self-care, comparison, control, perfectionism can all lead to contribute to adrenal fatigue. So these are some of the more common symptoms. Some of these I experienced, some of them I didn't. The number one that most people do, and I definitely did, is that need for excessive sleep. Where you're getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep and you wake up totally exhausted. And also the second one is wired and tired. It's when you go to bed, at night, you're exhausted and you lay down and you just feel like all of a sudden, boom, you've, like you drank 3 cups of coffee. You're completely wired, and very frustrating for obvious reasons. Your stamina hit the wall maybe midday. For me, it was about 2 o'clock and I was done. I'd have to schedule my appointments early in the morning because after about 2 o'clock I was done. And that's going to be different for everyone. Some people it could be 6 o'clock and it could be different on different days. So again, all these, you can see the entire list here. Emotional sensitivity, that's usually, responding to things that, normally would not aggravate or would not upset you. Again, overreacting to situations, apathy, depression, the gas, bloating, acid reflux, because again, the digestive system has been impacted as well. Irregular heartbeat, that's another one that you could experience. Okay, so how do you heal from this? Number one, get help. This is not something you're going to self-treat. That's not why we created this. We just created this information for you to be aware. Lifestyle modifications, number one, stress management, determining things you can let go of. Asking for help. That could be help cleaning your home, help making meals, help at work, whatever that looks like, taking time off work, and truly setting those boundaries. The diet, plants are going to be the answer because they digest so much easier and faster. And remember, we talked about that getting 2 to 3 times as much nutrition in your body. That's, going to create less stress. Plants are anti-inflammatory. They won't disrupt that inflammatory process, and eating smaller meals. And again, fruits, vegetables, and berries are going to be your best friends. They digest very well for the most part, depending again on your personal digestive system and how it's functioning. Avoiding caffeine, sugar, and alcohol are critical. Movement has to be more restorative, slower, nothing high intensity, restorative yoga, not hot yoga, Pilates, massage therapy. Those are all going to be super important for the lymph and to oxygenate the body as well, and to recover and to heal. Your digital detox, like we talked about, phone, electronics, avoiding those, especially about an hour before you go to sleep at night, making sure you take those, that they're not in your bedroom or the area that you're sleeping, and unplugging truly. Again, asking for help. This is on here twice for a reason, because that's something you truly have to learn to be able to let go of things. And nutritional supplementation. This is going to be absolutely critical to you getting in the amount of nutrients that you need to rebuild and repair your cells. And one of the crucial components for me, I know, was that I was taking the Juice Plus Whole Food concentrates. And I know that was a big part of my recovery. And to share my recovery, you know, where I had learned that, or I was told that it could take up to 5 years to recover from phase 3 adrenal fatigue, I recovered in less than 2 years. So it was absolutely amazing. And, you know I have Juice Plus to thank for that quick recovery as part of my protocol, among many other things that I had changed in my diet, in my life, eliminating the stress, responding better to the stress components, the emotional and mental components. So also in the supplementation, an adrenal glandular, most likely be complex, vitamin D. Again, it's all going to depend on what your current levels are, your testing results. This is going to be personalized, again, not to treat here. We just want to give you information that will help guide you. Okay. And this is Juice Plus. So again, going back to how much nutrition that you need during times of stress, and being able to get them in a readily assimilated form that is easily digestible. And Juice Plus is basically fruits, vegetables, and berries, gluten-free grains that have been juiced for you, that are flash frozen and go into the bloodstream and really give your body everything it needs. And if you add the drink mix with it, which is a high fiber plant-based protein drink mix, that will help stabilize the blood sugar as well, and give you a total of 45 plants. With the capsules, you have approximately 10 of the fruits, 10 of the vegetables, and 10 of the berries. But it's not just the berries. As you can see on this list, you have foods like yucca and currants and other foods, elderberries, that you can't find in the store. And I know as well as I was eating, I just couldn't get this variety and this amount in my body. And so Juice Plus makes it simple and convenient, especially in a time where you don't have the energy possibly to juice and to do all the things you need to do to get the amount of nutrients that you need in your system. And then just to talk about the shakes for a minute, I think these are incredible for really help stabilizing blood sugar. Again, we talked about that's number one. We see people with adrenal fatigue are really craving the unhealthy foods, the sugars, the simple carbohydrates, and this will help that. And they're vegan, they're non-GMO, they're gluten and dairy free, they're just plant-based, and they're, full of plant foods and high fiber as well. And so I love this diagram because it really shows, what happens in the morning when you wake up and you're eating simple carbohydrates instead of complex, and you're not getting a plant-based, meal or protein in your body, and your blood glucose levels are going to spike, and then they're going to come crashing down, versus having a meal replacement, or a whole food drink mix like Complete. It's going to help not only your willpower to avoid those sugary foods, but it's going to give you that energy that you need, and it's going to be sustained throughout the day instead of spiking and then having you crash down later in the day. And then also, most importantly, we know there's the purity of the products. They're clean, they're non-GMO, they're pesticide, they're herbicide free, they're tested through NSF testing, but they're also tested by clinical studies. So we know the efficacy is there. Over 30 published studies, and Juice Plus is the most researched nutritional product in the world. And if you look at these prestigious universities and medical institutions, we've got Vanderbilt, Wake Forest, Yale, Medical University of Graz, Austria, and MD Anderson. So just to name a few. So this is why more healthcare professionals trust Juice Plus, because we know it has been clinically proven to support the body in many areas. So just a few of those 30 plus studies, I want to point out these three because to me, they are so impactful as it pertains to adrenal fatigue and really anyone with stress in their lives. So we know Juice Plus supports a healthy inflammatory response, and we know that is one factor that is, out of balance in someone with adrenal fatigue. The immune system, of course, has been slowed or lowered, and Juice Plus increases the number and activity of immune cells circulating in the body. And then this third one is that Juice Plus is bioavailable, which basically means that there's 19 studies conducted over 20 years found the significant increases in the amount of antioxidants and other nutrients in the blood. So I hope this information and Juice Plus will give you hope in healing with your health issues. And I want to thank you again for joining us today. And at this time, I'm going to turn it back over to Beth to close.
Thank you, Dr. Bonnie Schnautz, for all of your great information. I always learn so much from you. I'd like to share a little bit today about my story with adrenal fatigue, where I was at and where I have come on this journey. It actually started a little over a year ago. I could recall it exactly because we were flying to my daughter's official visit. We had done 4 flights in 2 weeks, and it's very stressful for me. And a lot of adrenal issues are triggered by stressors in your life. And I can recall my symptoms on those flights were I had blurred vision, nausea, dizziness, immediately had incurred in extreme fatigue. And over the next 3 months, I really was laying in bed 24/7, not wanting to get up. I could not do anything. Little things like looking at my phone. I couldn't even look at my phone because of the blurred vision. Trying to vacuum the carpet or even just get up and change one load of laundry felt like I had run a marathon. So my body had literally shut down. And at that point, I did not know I was experiencing adrenal issues. I went to 11 specialists and with no answers, and that was very frustrating. Trying to at least find out what the problem was so that you could start to heal your body. I got connected with Dr. Schnautz because of the great community that we're in our Juice Plus community, and started some testing. And I was relieved that we had some answers. It took a few weeks to get all that done, but I had come back with adrenal fatigue, a pretty high state of it. And the first thing was, I thought, let the healing begin. And the first thing Dr. Bonnie and I discussed was that this was going to be a 1 to 3 year recovery. And 1 to 3 years is like, where do I start? What happened? How did this happen? And one of the things I can say is I'm definitely a type A. I know there's a lot of type A's out there, and go and hard to shut off, and how do you relax, and does your brain ever stop? And she said, remember, Beth, a lot of this is emotional, and this is a lifestyle change. And I really listened to her, and knew that nutrition played a role in this also, for healing. And we let the journey come, and I needed to rest. Rest was crucial. I always had said my body didn't get here. It was life that brought you here. Our focuses were emotional stress, digestive, and hormonal stress. And really, we started implementing some major food changes. Now, I had always felt like I had eaten healthy. I've been in the fitness industry for years, but you really don't know the power of food. And that is one of the things that this community and Dr. Schnautz taught me, and led to healing. I eliminated many things like caffeine, gluten. Caffeine's one of the worst things for your body, for the adrenals. I had been on Juice Plus 12 years and rarely sick, and no antibiotics for that time. And I love to share that most people that have adrenal issues do so have just a weakened immune system. And during this whole period of recovery, I've never been sick. So I really I think to myself, what would my body be like without Juice Plus? Once we came together and we started working on our plan, I really realized it was our Shred 10 program, which a lot of people do in 10 days, but I really created it and made it a lifestyle change. And we know that food heals. And alongside of just getting the Juice Plus and the whole food nutrition, there were days I couldn't get up and eat and make the food. I had no energy at all. I just wanted to lay in bed. I was so dizzy, but to know that I could get that whole food nutrition in those capsules really was a lifesaver for me. I'm really excited because we just retested 9 months after through my progress. We retested, and I've improved in so many ways. I know my limits, and I will continue this lifestyle change of dealing with emotional stress and unplugging from things, and food heals. And I appreciate it so much more, our Juice Plus community, the proactive people that reached out to me and educated me over the years. I probably have a pacemaker and put on medication because that's really what the doctors wanted to do after those 11 specialist visits. So this business has saved us, our family. I wasn't able to work for about 9 to 10 months. And the beautiful thing that Juice Plus provided, not only as a product that I will continue to take forever, but this business has blessed our family to have time freedom and heal and recover and bring me back. So thank you so much for joining us. We would like to encourage you to get back with the person who invited you to view this webinar and learn more. Thank you again, Dr. Schnautz, and thank you for joining us today.
Wow, thank you so much for watching. If you find this very interesting and you'd like to be part of this amazing platform, let me know. I will be able to support you, like we've heard from the doctor, what he had said, she had said. Juice Plus products is here to help you bridge the gap between the food you should eat and the food you do eat. I've been on Juice Plus product for the past 3 years now, and it's been an exciting journey. I started it because I wanted to, improve my health, balance my hormones. I needed that energy. I needed to improve my health and get better at it. So I'm really happy to get you started. Everyone has a challenge. Some people have challenge in eating, curbing sugar. People have challenge in sleeping. People have challenges in drinking water. People have challenges in not eating enough fruit and vegetables. This is where our product is here to help you meet with your needs. No matter where you are in your health journey, the Juice Plus product is here to support you. Like I started because I wanted to actually get more energy, sleep well, reduce constipation, improve my weight. I lost 20 kilograms with the Shred 10. I actually made the Shred 10 part of my lifestyle every first 10 days of every month. I take out 10 days in a month and I try to, detox my body, eat more healthy food, more conscious of what I eat, and I get my body in that reset mode. Now, May 1st is coming. I'm going to skip tomorrow because tomorrow is Sunday and we're actually doing a lot of spiritual stuff in church, like fasting and praying. So I'm going to leave that tomorrow. So if you want to join me on the Shred 10 plan for the month of May, I'm going to be starting on Monday, where we're going to be detoxing. I'm going to be sharing some recipe, the power of detoxification, the kind of food you need to eat for the first 10 days of this month. Give it a try. You'll be surprised how your body will be so excited and you'll be looking forward to joining us again in June. Take our first 10 days of every month and reset your body to health. You can't do this without not actually using our product. So I can share the plan with you. You can start with $2 a day, $3 a day, $4 a day. Imagine you're spending this on your own body and you're eating healthy fruit and vegetables every day. You move your body to, like I said, I remember your favorite girl, Gladys Osage, always here to inspire you to health, because health is wealth. Wealth is useless if wealth is useless useless if there is no health. Wealth is useless if there is no health. So no matter where you are right now in your health journey, get at it. Improve your health. Improve your weight. Get better at your health. Get energy. Reduce fatigue. Have time to rest, have time to sleep. Don't I'm that gold Gladys. Go, 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 go. But sometimes when it hit me very hard. But with this amazing opportunity, this amazing platform called the Freedom Revolution, I've been able to learn so many ways where I need to say, you know what, Gladys, you're gonna be in bed throughout today. And I love it because you need to actually help your body to rest. And when your body is resting, you need to feed your body with the right nutrient. And this is where the Juice Plus product is here to support you. Our product can support you with your skin, with your eyes, your hair, nails, all of those beauty stuff and all of those healthy stuff. It can actually help improve our DNA. That is the clinical research on our product. Until next time I come your way, ensure that you're improving your health and you're getting ready to join me on the Shred 10 challenge starting on Monday, the 2nd of May. 2022. We're going to shred for 10 days. When we say shred means I'm going to do a video tomorrow. I hope I find the time. I'm going to do a video on shred 10 just to educate us and let us know what we need to prepare ourselves with. God bless. Have a wonderful evening. Bye for now.